The House That Walked at Dawn. English Story Level 6. Every villager in Broadmoor had heard the tales of the wandering house, but few believed them. They said that at dawn, when the sky was washed in pale gold, a small wooden cottage would rise from its foundation and walk through the mist on long, spindly legs. 14-year-old Leela had always been fascinated by the stories, especially because her grandmother insisted the house was real. But no one had ever managed to follow it for long. One morning, driven by curiosity stronger than sleep, Leela crept out before sunrise and hid behind the willow trees near the old meadows. Fog curled across the grass like smoke, and the abandoned cottage at the meadow's center stood silent and still. Leela waited, her breath trembling. Then, as the first sliver of sun peeked over the hills, the cottage shuddered. Wooden boards creaked, the ground vibrated, and 4 slender legs unfolded beneath it like the limbs of a great insect. Leela gasped as the house began to walk. Slow, deliberate steps carried it toward the forest, each footfall sending ripples through the fog. Fear fought with excitement inside her, but she followed anyway, keeping a careful distance. The house moved surprisingly gracefully, weaving between trees as though it had walked the forest 1,000 times. Only when it paused beside an old stone archway did Leela get close enough to touch the moss on its shifting walls. Suddenly, the front door swung open with a sigh. A warm light spilled out, illuminating the forest floor. Leela hesitated, but the glow felt inviting, almost familiar. When she stepped inside, the door closed gently behind her. The interior was much larger than expected, filled with strange artifacts, floating candles, drifting books, and portraits whose eyes followed her with gentle curiosity. A soft voice echoed from deeper within the house. The voice belonged to a man with silver hair and a cloak made of fluttering pages. He introduced himself as Aldrin, the caretaker of the roaming sanctuary. He'd explained that the house moved every dawn to collect lost memories left behind in the world. Forgotten dreams, broken hopes, and abandoned wishes wandered the earth like invisible shadows, and the house gathered them to keep them from fading completely. Only a rare few could see the house move, those whose hearts still held a piece of lost wonder. Aldrin told Leela the house had chosen her because she carried a memory that belonged inside the sanctuary. Confused, Leela insisted she remembered everything, but Aldrin invited her to explore a deep hallway filled with glowing doors. Each door shimmered with an emotion: joy, sorrow, courage, regret. One door pulsed with soft blue light, and Leela felt drawn to it. When she touched the handle, the room inside formed around her like a dream. She found herself standing on a shoreline at twilight. The waves glowed with silver foam, and the air smelled of lavender. Then she saw him, her older brother, smiling as he skipped stones across the water. But the scene twisted, replaced by the memory of the day he had disappeared. Leela had never fully processed the loss. She had buried the pain so deeply she convinced herself she remembered everything clearly. Aldrin appeared beside her. He'd explained that part of her memory, her brother's final words, had fragmented into the world, wandering without a home. Leela listened as the forgotten words drifted toward her like a soft breeze. Don't be afraid of the unknown, Leela. It's where the magic lives. Tears streamed down her face as the memory settled into her heart. The room dissolved, and the house trembled with satisfaction. Leela felt lighter, more complete, as Aldrin thanked her for restoring a lost piece of herself. When she stepped outside, dawn had fully risen, and the house slowly sank back onto its resting place beside the archway. She looked back once, hoping it would open its door again, but it remained still. From that day on, Leela visited the meadow every dawn, waiting for the next time the wandering house would choose to walk again.